In Pulp's 1994 masterpiece, Sheffield's Sex City, Jarvis Cocker has a lot of fun with names from the local area. You know, Catcliffe, Brincliffe, Attercliffe, Wombwell, The Wicker, and so on and so forth. I think if Pulp had been from round here, not only would they have been a very different band, but he could have had just as much fun, if not more, with local names. There's a right old range, ranging from the dreamy and the evocative, like Temple Cloud, the prosaic, like Rodney Stoke, the crookedly comic, like Wookie. But my two faves, or perhaps my three faves, are the two Vobsters, Upper Vobster and Lower Vobster, and of course, Vinegar, which made me laugh for about half an hour earlier. I don't care, by the way, if they're not pronounced like that. If you're from Vobster or Vinegar, I'm not bothered if that's not the proper pronunciation, okay? I like them as they are. I like the idea of a Vobster, obviously a mixture of a vole and a lobster, and I like the idea of salt and vinegar crisps. Very much at odds with the inherent beauty of the place, though. I like that juxtaposition, that template of reciprocity, the idea that something with a silly name could be inherently beautiful or impressive, like the Arctic Monkeys. Makes me wonder about the opposite. Make me think about things that aren't very impressive, perhaps mundane and mediocre, but have got cool names, like Channing Tatum. For a moment, I thought that swan was real and just really big. I think subliminally, my mind had prepared me for the experience with the abnormal size of those leaves. It's like those times when you're in a car and you see a rake or a spade propped up against the side of a house next to a tin of paint and you think it's a friend of yours. That has happened to you, hasn't it? Poor old Wells, like its northern counterpart Beverley, suffers from an embarrassment of ecclesiastical riches. The whole place is a gently sloping incline, punctuated spectacularly at either end. From the flourishing opening paragraph of the Cathedral at the top, to the quietly soaring denouement of St Cuthbert's at the bottom. If I was constructing a house out of English cathedrals, the staircase would be from Wells, but the ceiling would undoubtedly be from St Cuthbert's. I love to see the cathedral's towers looming at the end of the high street over the marketplace. Sunlit for the moment, but equally thrilling when a cloud passes over and leaves them in darkness with a pool of light in front. It always reminds me of that line in Deep in the Woods by The Birthday Party. Love is for fools and all fools are lovers. It's raining on my house, but none of the others. The idea of a building having a specific set of atmospheric conditions all of its own. Far and away the prettiest ever solution to a mathematical problem of weight displacement. Cummings' law of progressive photographic disappointment once again. From a little further back, it's a little more glorious. The 15th century astronomical clock. Where else do knights joust and unseat each other on the quarter hour? Not on the clock outside the Rye Market Stourbridge, that's for sure. This is the chapter house. Where's the slow dive? Where's the drop? Where are the new fast automatic daffodils? Where's the family cat? Where are the Boo Radleys? Where, in fact, are the rest of the lineup for Reading 93? England's most beautiful staircase, unequivocally. Although not the rushing channels of somewhere like Freiburg in the Black Forest, or even the little fish-strewn rivulets of Otterton or Castle Combe, it's funny how these little trickling streams running parallel to the pavement add a dash of glamour in this almost urban environment. I hate it when they clear away the benches and pews in a small parish church, but I love it here. The purity, the clean sweep, the big sinuous curve, up to the scissor arch, echoing all round in four ways. It's a lot of people's favourite, this, and I can see why. I'm like Leslie Halliwell in this and all things. He had 100 films in his top 10. I think I've got 26 cathedrals in my top 10. It was meant to be people's first glimpse of the afterlife, particularly the West Front, waking from the burial spot, echoing the last thing they had seen. Stirring stuff indeed. Speaking of first glimpses, it strikes me that we only ever really experience them retrospectively, don't we? They become charged with meaning by hindsight, like the blurred and shifting home movie of our earliest memories, the light and sound shadow play of the time before we had words with which to label our experiences. We're not boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past, like Jay Gatsby in Wells. The sea of time is calm here, and we're almost in step with it. The swans ring a bell to be fed in the still waters outside the Bishop's Palace. It's hard to imagine a future in which places like this didn't usher us in through arched invitations, medieval gateways, onto marketplaces aflutter with stalls, Georgian facades, and the tight cobbles, like an urban beach resisting the swell of the tides of time. It strikes me that the whole nature of the future is different in places like this. As it stands, there's no real imperative for change here, like there is in a big urban environment. Stand in the centre of Birmingham and you can feel it changing around you. You're a static point amid the blurred light traces of a time-lapse film. But here, or at the top of Steep Hill in Lincoln, or looking down Gold Hill in Shaftesbury, you're the point of fluctuation. You can feel things not changing around you. Stand still, and you're still changing faster than it is. But just as our own daily routines are punctured by the unlooked-for intrusions of real life, perhaps the semi-luminous equilibrium of these places won't endure. There are loads of them round these parts. It's not just Wells. Take Axbridge up the road near Cheddar. Plant me there in my nightgown in the middle of the night, like Scrooge transported in A Christmas Carol. I'd think I was in 17th century Italy. But change will come to these places. It might be like the Baedeker bombs falling on Exeter Cathedral, or it might be through the greed and avarice of the planners behind their bulldozers. We're none of us here for long. Transience and impermanence. We're like the flying ants on the last day of summer, when insects go stupid and swallows fly south. I was eaten alive by flying ants in Glastonbury Tour, 1996, just up the road from here. I haven't been back since.
Cummings Your Way, Series 6, Episode 48. Dan Cummings glues his shoe.
Just gluing my shoe, went all flappy, just outside St Cuthbert's, and some sort of homeless hipsters gave me some advice, which I've ignored, with regard to home cobbling. So I've gone to the works, got some all-purpose Boss stick, and I'm hoping for the best.
Join us next week where Dan tries to get a pen out of the bottom of his blazer pocket that's gone through a hole.
Here goes. Job's a good one.